Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Amy.
So we have another very special guest with us. So, Nikki, go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone.
Hi, I'm Niki Richardson from Nashville area of Tennessee.
Awesome. So, Nikki, what do you do?
I'm a dyslexia therapist, an academic language therapist. I'm also an instructor of academic language therapist. I'll be starting my new cohort, my first cohort this summer, and training other therapists. I also do a lot of advocacy support in Tennessee around just getting a little bit more awareness with dyslexia in our home state of Tennessee, but also helping parents just understand what's available to them. And then I, do some just a little bit of training on the side. School districts need some structured literacy awareness support, that kind of thing.
Awesome. Wow. So do you work with students directly too?
I do, one-on-one. I do dyslexia therapy, mostly online. It's just a little bit more convenient. Our state's kind of long, so it's a wide traveling distance there for people to get to me. But a lot online. It's really successful.
I really like teaching online. I have a lot of cohorts, but 2 of them are virtual. And then I have students that I work with too. Like I'm finishing up with a California student in JET here soon. So it's been a lot of fun.
Nice. Yeah, I've got 6, 7-year-olds all the way up to my first adult male recently is going through JET. We're about to finish. And that's been so exciting to see. Such a humbling experience for him, and he's so open to that learning process. It's just been a really neat experience. I've worked with high school kids, but not an adult. So it's been really nice.
I get it. It is. It's a different. So, I keep reading that adult needs are very different from like elementary and even secondary. What do you see as a difference between what your adult student needs and maybe your younger kids?
Yeah. So an adult has come a long way in their life with their literacy journey, and they have a lot of things they think are set in stone that they have a hard time breaking those habits, right? So that's one thing. I think another one is I have to give them a little bit more of the why. Some kids, of course, kids want the why. They want to know why we're learning this way and how this is helping their brain, but the adult needs it a little bit further, I find.
Sure.
I also find it's funny, kids are not as hard on themselves as an adult is. Mm-hmm. If he forgets something from one session to the next, he's really hard on himself. And I have to remind him, it takes time and it's going to come eventually.
Now, you were mentioning to me before we started speaking on the podcast that there's not as much knowledge of the dyslexia practices in Tennessee. So is that why you're doing some of this advocacy work? You're just trying to spread the word, or?
Yeah, for sure. I'm also the vice president of our Tennessee chapter, and we have about 90-ish active members right now, and that's wonderful. We have a lot of people in schools, not necessarily practicing as a therapist or a practitioner. So we're trying to get more awareness just in general about what a CALT is, what a CALP is, and what that looks like, why you should want to go for that training, right? On top of that, yes, we have a dyslexia law, but it's kind of surface level dyslexia law. So it's a lot about here's how we identify characteristics of dyslexia, but they don't really know what to do once we've identified in the schools. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We've got educators who are kind of lost on where to go. So that's a lot of what I do. And I go into these schools and just teach on best practice around structured literacy for these students who have characteristics of dyslexia, and then hopefully they're going to go, wait, I want to go deeper, and let's go through this therapist route or this practitioner route.
Yeah. Do you think the state is going to be active in kind of pursuing more of that for school district teachers?
We are hoping so. It's one of those things we're trying to talk to legislators. We're trying to talk to, the state board of representatives, for Tennessee. We're trying to get in there with our state Department of Ed. They know who we are. They know that we're pushing and we're knocking on their door. And it's so hard because we want that instantaneous, like we want it now, because we know these kids are needing these services now.
Right.
But I know it takes time. So we're just taking that time and trudging ahead. And if we look back a year ago, we've made progress. It's not the progress we want because we want more, but we're getting there.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are doing great work. I've heard great things are going on in Tennessee.
Well, we've had a couple of Tennessee people up here already, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, we've got a good representation here at the conference, I think, in person. We have, I think there's 7, 8 of us who came from Tennessee, which is amazing. That's so great for us seeing that, I don't know, if you look at the rest of the states, I think we've got a lot more representation from
Well,
some other
you
places.
know, we're from Texas, so
Yeah,
what's the joke?
big.
Throw a rock, hit a cow.
Right.
I mean, because
right.
it's where everything was.
Yeah, and we
founded.
look to you guys a lot, and I keep looking at Texas as okay, but remember they've had a lot longer at this.
Yeah, right,
To
right.
get all this going.
Since '85.
Exactly. So we've got our work cut out for us, but we are very thankful for states like you guys. There's other states around that have laid a lot of good groundwork for us too.
Well, and you know, it comes to you've got to have the person that is the fireball at the state level. We had Tynesy Miller, and she was the fireball in our
Yeah.
state, so she pushed a lot
Yeah.
of what we have right now.
right.
And I know that you guys are working on that too, so
We're
it's
trying.
good on you.
Yeah, we're trying. You know, it's one of those things. It's like, man, who do we know? It's all about who you know, right?
Right.
And so we're all racking our brains.
Yeah.
Who do we know? Who do we know? Who knows that person? Who can introduce us?
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to get through those layers. It's like
It
an onion.
certainly is. It certainly is. But yeah, and I mean, I do a lot of sharing. Your podcast. There's so many good podcasts out there, and so for the right educator, the right administrator, the right representative, here's the right thing. They're going to start going. Wait a second. Who do we know in Tennessee who knows about this, and where can we go to get more information, and who can we talk to? We actually have an exciting one university in Tennessee is actually going to be partnering to do a CALT training with their as a master's program, and we've never
Nice.
had that.
I did hear
Yeah,
about
David
that.
Lipscomb
Yeah.
University, they are doing that, and so that's really wonderful for us. I think it's a step in the right direction, and hopefully other universities go, wait, what are they doing? We need to do that. We need to do that too. So.
What university is doing that?
It's Lipscomb University.
Oh,
I
Lipscomb.
can't remember if they call it David Lipscomb or Lipscomb University now, but
I've
it's a
heard of
liberal
it.
arts university, in Nashville. So that's going to be exciting. I hope they get a good attendance for that. I think they're doing. It's starting this summer, and it's with Hoover Learning. Natalie
I know
Hoover. She's not here this year at the conference, but she was able to get that going. So that's going to be exciting for our
Yay.
state.
Yay.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
Yes, thank you so
Yes.
much for doing this. I know it's kind of unnerving to get on here and do
It
this.
certainly is, but it's
you
exciting.
did not present it as such. So
Yes.
that was
Thank
really
you.
good.
Thank you.
Thank
Well, I'm with two
thank
professionals.
you.
So
Professional
followed
speakers,
suit.
I don't know, talkers maybe. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
guys. Bye. You did great. I have to go make a